No, I just want to say I've been tracking rich lists, since my early days in tertiary. Forbes list, Bloomberg, etc. Again, officially need to give a shout out to Masiyiwa from Zimbabwe. He's now the wealthiest black man, I believe, in Southern Africa, overtaking Patrice. One of the things I had to learn, this was in particular to Siya Kolisi as captain of the Springboks. Siya Kolisi didn't start playing rugby because he was doing it for political reasons. Because he wanted to be Ubantu Bigo we rugby. He loved the sport, was really good at it. And he got along with so many white Afrikaans people, and they wanted him to lead our nation, and they lifted a World Cup. Found a woman.
No, I just want to correct you.
Sure.
And I want you guys to continue. I'll quickly rush to the restroom. By the way, guys, this is a podcast, so sometimes we'll just run off and run back.
But I just want to say,
don't lose that thought.
In the rugby thing, Dwayne Vermeulen was supposed to be captain of the team. There was an ill-disciplined thing that he did, and to punish him, they made Siya Kolisi captain for 2 matches. But because of the political celebration, we've got our first black rugby captain. Then they made him the permanent captain after that.
Sure.
So
let me carry on. Let me carry on. So,
I just wanted to ensure that.
Shout out to Siya Kolisi. Shout out to
he got the opportunity.
Dwayne Vermeulen.
Number 8.
At some point, a lot of people were saying Dwayne is actually the real captain, etc. So I understand.
He was supposed to be.
Sure.
But he ill-disciplined, and then they gave the captaincy to Siya for 2 matches. It was announced that no, we're giving him the captaincy for these 2 matches, and then after that it was like, hey, we can't fire him. He's our first black captain.
So Siya was one of the leaders in the Springboks. So obviously if Dwayne was first choice, it's fine. Siya was second choice.
Even if you're in top 5.
He lifted the World Cup, and there was a time when I was emotional because he was asked about quotas. And he said if Mandela was alive, he wouldn't support quotas, etc. I got emotional because I come from a rugby background, and I understand the importance of quotas and how it put a lot of black players on. But very quickly thereafter, I had to realize that Siya never got into rugby to be a politician or an activist. In the same breath, Masiyiwa, as I said earlier, has had a history with Zimbabwe where he even fought against Robert Mugabe, who didn't want him to get a license to have, I think it's EcoNet. And for people that don't know, EcoCash is a cashless way of transferring money, which I think was inspired by M-Pesa in Eastern
Kenya.
Africa. We've tried it here, it didn't really work. We've got our e-wallets and our cash sends, etc. So he's done really well in having a cashless option for Zimbabweans, especially at a time when the Zim dollar was a problem, whatever the case may be. I don't know fundamentally if Masiyiwa grew up saying, I want to be a hero for Zimbabweans. I don't know if his thing wasn't, but I want to be the greatest.
Is he not now?
No, but I don't know if that's what he wanted.
But is he not now because he's the richest?
Hear me. So you're talented, and I'm going to use this gentleman as an example. We've got Benny McCarthy, we've got Percy Tau. These are guys that wanted to play soccer, football.
And they
became really great.
And what did Benny do?
And in being great, they were signed by teams in Europe. And that's what they wanted, and that's what we want for them.
But Benny is the first one to strike. And in a situation
where you've got, let's say, Upesita or Benny are from a township that is struggling with poverty. Let's say they're from a Deep Sluit from a Alex. I'm making an example.
Hanover Park.
That's where
Benny's from. Hanover Park.
Make an example.
The gangster capital of South Africa. Hanover Park.
So Upeni,
you don't make it out of there alive.
So Upeni, as a kid that wanted to play football, that was his dream. And now that he's
bullets in Hanover Park.
And now that he's become really great, it almost becomes unfair for him to now want to be pushed into becoming a political activist, into being responsible. And it's almost like Strive mustn't live in London. He mustn't live in Hong Kong.
He mustn't.
Elon Musk mustn't go to America. And it's like, why must I limit my greatness when if I wanted to be a politician, I could have gone into politics. I'd be president of the country.
Why did Elon Musk buy Twitter?
And for me, I think as a comeback, I've got my own personal issues with billionaires. I've got my own personal issues with capitalism as a system. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But my big issue is we need to sometimes remember that these guys didn't grow up saying, I want to be a philanthropist. I want to give back to the nation. They grew up saying, I want to be a very successful businessman.
Same here.
And they're doing it now.
Same here.
And now, in the same way that some people police people's pockets, I'm worried that we're now trying to force them to do things that they never asked to do. And you almost want to limit their greatness.
I hear you.
In a country that you're saying some of the people have given up. Instead of him carrying on being great.
He is great.
And then maybe building or maybe moving some money to Zim where and when he can.
Okay. I hear you.
Sure.
I didn't grow up thinking that I want to change people's lives. I didn't grow up thinking that I'm going to take people from the township, uplift them so that they can support their families, they can take their kids to private schools and all that type of stuff. I got that responsibility when it came to me. With great power comes great responsibility. With great influence comes great responsibility. Even right now, like last week I even said, I had to rebrand my social media. I realized that, I've got so much influence on so many people. I can't, when someone makes a comment at me, I can give you the most painful insults. I can. I've got the capability of it. I've done it before. I've trolled and everything else. But now, as the Nota that I am, I'm too influential to punch down on people because they don't see my vision. Now I need to be presidential.
But must you be forced?
It means that I'm forced. You're
not forced.
I'm telling you, you can slap me in the face right now. I will not strike back at you because God has put me in a position where I can empower people, and I cannot allow my ego to take over the mission that God has placed before me. Now, fine, you believe in PENUELism. I believe in God. God has done amazing things in my life. Everything I've seen that is amazing in my life. My mother's an orphan. At 5 years old, she had no parents. My father's a pauper. My father is a pauper. My grandmother fed my father from picking peanuts. When someone says they are paid peanuts, that is what raised my father. My grandmother was paid in peanuts. I come from abject poverty. And look at me. Look at how far I've come. That is God. I respect God. God has put me in a position of influence. And I cannot take that gift and then say it's for me. No. I'm not smart. I'm not brilliant. I'm not a genius. This is all God. Everything you hear coming out my mouth, this is God's intellect. This is God's genius. This is God's talent. This is God's blessings. The same way DJ Smooth picked up the responsibility. His mother's not rich. He didn't have a bazar when he went to Vets Tech. Understand? He didn't have to help us. He didn't have to lift us up. He didn't have to inspire us. It was a responsibility. God gave him a gift. Let me tell you something. If he did not answer to that call from God, God would have taken everything from him. Everything. People have tried to take everything from Smooth. And God has said no every single time. Why? Because God has put him on this place to be a testament. And that's it. We are a testament. I'm a testament. You are a testament. We're all testaments. When Masiyiwa dies, people will judge what he did with his riches. When Elon Musk dies, people will judge what he did with his riches. When Bill Gates dies, people will judge what they did with their riches. When Petrus Motsepe dies, people will judge what he did with his riches. When Cyril Ramaphosa dies, people will judge what he did with his riches. History will judge you.
Want some more?
You understand what I'm saying? So our mortality is a limit. It's the greatest limit. It's the greatest beauty. I know that I'll probably live 90 to 125 years. That's probably the limit, right? Within the 90 to 125 years that I can live, that is the opportunity for me to create something that will outlive me. You die twice in life. The day you die and the last time they say your name. I want to make sure that 1,000 years pass before it's the last time they say my name. The same way 2,000 years have passed and we're still saying Jesus Christ's name. The same way however many years have passed and we're still saying Mansa Musa's name. The same way however many years have passed and we're still talking about people who lived thousands of years BC. We're still talking about Tutankhamun and all those things. That's the impact that I want to have in life, because I want to show people what God can do when he touches a life. And I want people to believe that this is all God's creation.
What I love about the conversation, the direction has moved to purpose. What an incredible thing. And we didn't lead it there. But you could tell God just took it there. The importance of living with purpose, or living for your purpose, or understanding what purpose is. Sure. I know it wasn't on the topics, but seeing that we're already there, let's just go in. And I love the fact that, Penuel, you are one of those amazing